Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be playing Tiger Heli, which I actually am a little familiar with. I did play this a bit as a kid. From what I remember, it wasn't a great game. And if you look at visually, like, it is lacking a little bit. And as a helicopter, it's very sluggish in reaction and movement. Like, it doesn't really capture the spirit of being an attack helicopter. In the fact that it really doesn't handle very well. And like, this like blowing up the top of a house kind of thing, where everything just kind of puts in a little crater in the ground and everything's kind of the same. It's a fun wasn't paying attention. It's a fun playable game, albeit, but it's just like the last game we played. It's playable, it's passable. There's nothing really horribly wrong with it to make it unplayable. I like that the first time that you get hit, you deploy your those bombs, which is kind of like, it was like what your one shield, like Spider-Man says, you get one. Tell him, Peter. But like, it is very disappointing how slow and sluggish that your plane is. It really, your helicopter is. It really is disappointing. Like, it sounded like we got a 1-up, but apparently we got something else. Not a 1-up. Like, I thought that sound was like, oh cool, we got enough points, we got an extra life. We did not get an extra life, that was for sure. Like, things are kind of sparse. And it's like they time everything to be very inopportune. Like, we're almost done, and then they're like, okay, now the tank is gonna come. Yeah, whatever it is in the bottom right there that we don't have any of at the moment is what we got on the last one with a certain point value. But yeah, like, everything looks so, like, oh, come on. Like, so cheesy. Like, these houses and the cars. It looks so basic. It's almost like an upscale Atari. The music is kind of catchy. It's kind of fun. Oh, so that's what we got. I don't know what it is, but we got it. Alright, so we got our power up. And also, no real originality. Like, the turrets are, like, out of every other basic, boring shooter that is out there. Like, it doesn't feel like they put a lot of effort into anything in this game at all. Like, there's nothing really bad. about the sparsity, but like, it's one of those things where, yeah, you don't want like an overabundance of just bullet hell craziness, but you want something more than the occasional tank here and there. Like when it comes to down to everything, we have very little variety of anything going on. You have no bomb and too little heli. Bonus 10,000 points. I wonder if 2 is going to be the max or if there would be any way of getting more. Hopefully we can find out. I hate when they send stuff out from behind you. Ah! We just lost both of them. I should have bombed it. But yeah, like everything on this game, it feels like the last one. It's so like basic. It's like that serious basic bitch going on, you know? Ah. I screwed it up. I screwed up! That's interesting that it changed. It was red, now it's, keep running into the bullet. It's kind of sad. I wonder it's because of that. So it's the color. Alright, so every single time, what the hell was wrong with me on that one? Oh, we'll go one more. Not overly wanting to play again, but I feel like we should anyways. Yeah, like everything is so like kind of sparse, which, you know, the simple fact that we're sitting here like twiddling our thumbs for a good portion of this. I guess I was trying to check and see if that is what happened, if we get point for blowing up the houses. I should have been paying more attention to everything else going on instead. Yeah, I dislike how slow and unresponsive your helicopter is. Like, I think this game could be salvageable for the most part if your plane actually, if your helicopter, keep calling it a plane, the helicopter was actually quick. But the fact that it maneuvers like it's a fucking semi-truck doesn't help with the whole gameplay, you know? We got it, and the first thing that happened was he got shot and blown up. Awesome. Alright, so we know the... Oh, we ran right into that. We know the blue gives us a bomb. The red gives us the side dudes. And the gray gives us... the front facing. Honestly, I think the front facing is probably the best one of them all. But I feel like that does entail and show that it is going to be a 3 and only 3. Could not get in between those two bullets. And of course we started just ahead of the power-up, so we don't get that. We are not doing as good this time around as we were on the last one. Oh. My impatience just kicking in, like trying to figure out if there's a way to fast forward through this, but there's not. Luckily, it didn't really matter. Like, we missed out on a little bit of points, but everything else, it was irrelevant. I think we need to add some range to our weapon too, would be nicer. Like, it should be kind of, I don't know, I feel like it would work better as a full screen shot instead of a 3/4. We'll go on this side. Oh, I didn't want the bomb. Ah. And the Roomba there just was not having it. I wish I knew what these things were. Wasn't worth getting is what they weren't. All right. Well, that's that, guys. I'll see. Like, again, it is a very passable, very playable, not horrible game, but graphically, like, just everything about it, again, screams just basic, and basic usually winds up being lulling you into boredom. Like, everything just seems so, like, childlike. So, I guess you could say the houses, like, look at the shit, the aircraft and everything. Everything is so... Like, they didn't put any effort into anything, really. And I'm really disappointed with how, like, really how terrible the helicopter performs. Like, it's a helicopter. It really should be able to maneuver better. And I think that, in and of itself, with everything else the way it is, if the helicopter handled better and you can maneuver and move faster and better, I think the game would be a lot more fun and just... better, all in all. But the fact that it is so slow, where you can't like really maneuver it, and you can't dodge, and you can't avoid things, like you run into so much because your ship just kind of goes meh, instead of being able to move. Like most helicopter games, the beauty of the helicopter games is the helicopter moves like a helicopter. It's faster. It has the ability to just shoot forward and backwards quickly and stop on a dime and do all these things that, you know, theoretically aren't really, like, seriously helicopter-esque, but just that you kind of in your head, you feel should be as far as at least video games. We can suspend reality to a point in video games for stuff like that. But, like, all in all, it doesn't seem like they put a lot of effort into it. It's almost like bare minimum. It's playable. It's somewhat fun. You have some decent power-ups, some choices on how to do things. Like if you actually had all 3 of your ships, you get your bombs and everything. And there's enough going on that it is fun and it is passable. But I think that it just lacks so much to really make it, again, stand out in a sea of all of these shooters on NES, because there are quite a few. If you don't really do stuff that makes you stick out, then you just wind up becoming another casualty in you know, this stream of never-ending garbage that is video games. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Even to this day, the amount of just garbage and trash that they just shovel out, hoping that other people will buy it and play it, is just overwhelming. And unfortunately, because Nintendo was so new, that Nintendo had originally tried to make it to where you had to pass, like, you know, their stamp of approval to even get on the system. But I think that went lax way too soon because there's too many people making games that they couldn't keep up. And then you wind up getting very lackluster, very drab, very boring, very ho-hum, run-of-the-mill, same shit, different title games like you see here, where it's enough to be different, but not enough to stand out or be anything more than a basic renting playable game. Where this is another game where, albeit it's kind of fun, but it's definitely just a rent it for the weekend. Unfortunately, there are way too many NES games out there that are not ooh, I wish I owned that game. It's all just rent it for a weekend and call it a day and never worry about ever playing it again because you just don't care. And this is one of those games that falls there. Renting it, have a good time, 2-3 days. And then after that, you probably are already fed up with it and you're good to go. So with that being said, thanks so much guys for watching. I hope you had a good day and see you next time.